Hi everyone, this tutorial regarding binary additions and binary subtraction is a continuous tutorial from my previous tutorial on conversion. However, this one we're going to show you how basically we do binary addition. Now there's a simple rule to it for the addition as well as the subtraction, as well as division and multiplication. However, for this lesson, we're going to just focus on addition and subtraction. Now the rule quite simple. If we follow this table, when we say 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 0 is 1. Easy so far. Now this is where it becomes tricky. 1 plus 1 is 0. So probably asking yourself here, why 1 plus 1 is 0 when we know it's 2? We can't have 2 because in binary we only have base 2, 0, and 1, on or off. We can't have 2, 3, 4, or any number. It's only 0 and 1. So what we do, we think of it as 10 or as 1, 0. So we put 0 with carry 1. And that carry 1 goes to the next. We add it to the next digit in line. So 1 plus 1, we have 0, carry 1. So if we look at below this example, so let's say we have a next one in line, 1 plus 1. Then we have plus the carry. So 1 plus 1 is 0. And then carry, move on to the next one. And then 0 plus 1 is 1. And then the 1 comes down if there's nothing else to add to it, which we're going to have a look now in the next example. So if we look here, we put the numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. If you watched my previous tutorials, you'll understand why we do that. And then we lay down the bits. So here we have 8 plus 13, we know 21. How I know this is 8 is 1, 0, 0, 0, because 8 is 1, and then 0, 0, 0, because 8 is 8. 13, it's less than 16, but more than 8. So 1 under 8. So 13 minus 8, we have 5 left. 5 is going to be 4 and 1. I don't need the 2 because it will give me 6. So that is 0. And if we add them, we get 21, which is 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. I know this is 21 because 21 is less than 32. 32 next in line after 16 by 2, it's give me 32. But 21 more than 16, less than 32. That's 1. And I've got 5 left. I can't use the 8, so that's 0. I can use the 4. So from the 5, I've got 1 left. So that's 1. I can't use the 2. I use the 1. And here we go. We have 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So for the addition, let's look at this example, which is going to be in detail. We follow this table. Always keep it handy. Now, with the table, we follow the rules. 0 by 0, 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. And then 1 plus 1, 0 with carry 1. So let's have a look at this example. 9 and 11. 9 is 1, 0, 0, 1. 11 is 1, 0, 1, 1, because 11 is 1, 8, 0, and then 2. So 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 1 is 1. That's why we put zeros here. And we know 20 is 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, because 20 more than 16, less than 32. So that's 4 left, and then that's the 4. Everything else goes into zeros. So that's why it's very, very important we follow this rule if you watch my previous tutorial. So let's do the addition. So 1 plus 1, we know it's 0 with carry 1. So 0 and carry 1. Now we have 1 and 0 is 1, because of that carry 1 from the previous 0, 1, or the 10. So stays here. So 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 1, the same rule apply, becomes 0 with carry 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 0 again is 1. Now 1 plus 1, again 0 with carry 1. However, there's nothing left after that, so it just comes down to join the rest of the binary. So we know here we have 1, 0, 1, 0, 0 for basically 9 plus 11. So that quite simple terms of additions, we just follow for this table. Now let's have a look at the subtractions. Subtraction rules is kind of um, just like the addition. Once we reach certain digits, the rules change or the new rules apply, which we're going to have a look at it here. So 0 minus 0 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. 1 minus 1 from it, we have 0. Now this is where it becomes tricky. 0 minus 1, it becomes 1. Now this is here where you will be like, how is that possible? 0 minus 1 is 1. Now, because we can't minus 1 from 0, okay? Because 0 is 0, and we can't minus 1 from it. So what we have to do, we have to borrow 1 from the next high order digits. So it becomes 1. So I see it that way. Just like when we did with addition, I see it as 10, and then we put 0 and 1 carry. Here I see it as 2. 2 minus 1 is 1, because I can't minus 0 from 1. I can't minus 1, sorry, from 0. So say, so I borrow 1, and then 0 becomes 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So we borrow 1 from the next high order digit. So that digit we borrowed from turns into a 0, becomes 0, which we're going to have a look at it in the next example. So we minusing 10 from 5. Now I know this is 10, which is 1 0 1 0, because 8, and then the 4 is 0 and the 2 is 1, here the 0. So 8 plus 2 gives me 10. The 5 is the 4 and the 1, so 1 0 1. So anything after here is 0, nothing. And then we know the answer is 5, just like this one, 1 0 1 1 0 1. Now let's have a look. So the rule here applies. 0 minus 1 is 1, and 1 we borrow from the next high digit. So 0 plus minus 1 is 1. So we take 1 from here. So we take that 1 and we put it here. So that becomes 0. So 0 minus 0 is 0. Now again, 0 minus 1, we can't do that. Okay, so we just take that 1. We borrow that 1. So it becomes 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. And then that turns into a 0 and comes down. So I don't really need that 0, because it's not going to make a difference. So it's 1 0 1. So we have here 3 bits. Okay, unless if I count that 0, then it becomes 4 bits. So as you can see here, so let's look at another example. So here we have 9 minus 5. We looked at the previous example, 10 minus 5. Here we're looking at 9 minus 5. We know it's 4. 9 is 8 plus 1 here, 8 0 0 1. That gives us 9. And the 5, just like previously, 1 0 1. And the 4 is the answer, which is 1 0 0. Because 4, we put 1 underneath it, and then 0 under the 2, and 1 0 under the 1. But how we do it when we do binary subtraction? So 1 minus 1 is 0. And if you look at the table, 1 minus 1 is 0. So here there's no borrowing going on. So just 0. Now 0 minus 0 is 0. This is here where it becomes tricky. 0 minus 1, like I told you before, we borrow 1 from the next one. So it's very important you highlight it if you're doing it on paper, because you could easily get lost with the number between the 1s and 0, confused. So make sure you sort of highlight it. So here we can see I borrowed that 1, so it becomes 0. And then think of this becomes 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. Or think of it as this one, because we can't minus 1 from 0. So I just take that 1 and put it down here. And then whatever in here becomes 0, and then comes down 0. But I don't really need it, because I'm only after 100, because 1 is the most significant here. Yeah, and the 0 here, the least significant. So this basically the addition and the subtraction.